Welcome to another Political Lunch Tuesday snack. These quick tips, resources, and explanations are designed to enhance your enjoyment of the political process. Today we head to Florida, where a tempest in a primary scheduled teapot has finally boiled over. January 29th will be, come hell or high water, the date of the Florida Democratic primary election, despite the fact that national Democratic Party officials have threatened to bar Florida delegates from the national convention next summer if they violate a rule stipulating that no state will hold its primary election before February 5th, other than New Hampshire, Nevada, South Carolina, and Iowa. National Democratic Party officials seem to really mean it, and Florida Democratic officials seem to mean it as well. And everyone has found the time to weigh in on this one, even former Florida governor and 2004 Democratic presidential candidate Bob Graham. You'd think these people would be occupied with winning the election and not just figuring out when to vote. So what's going on? Why would a state political party risk the right to send delegates to the National Nominating Convention just to hold their vote a week earlier? Well, there are all sorts of theories as to why Florida has changed the date of its Democratic primary. One of the most popular has to do with Hillary Clinton. More than one conspiracy theorist has suggested that since Senator Clinton currently has the highest name recognition and the best polling numbers in the Sunshine State, and since all the Democratic candidates have been instructed to stop campaigning in any state that violates National Democratic Party rules, well, the theory is that Senator Clinton would cruise to an easy victory come January. Well, that one's pretty far-fetched, especially since most of the candidates have vowed to keep campaigning in Florida regardless of what National Party officials tell them. Others have wondered if this is just a ploy to boost the importance of Florida's Democratic Party. Even though they are risking their right to send delegates to the national convention, all the media hype around this issue is going to make the result of the Florida Democratic primary pretty darn important. The truth, however, is much less exciting. January 29th is the day that Floridians will go to the polls to vote not just in the Democratic primary, but in the Republican primary and also on any number of statewide issues that are pretty important. The date was set by the Republican-controlled legislature, signed into law by a Republican governor, and frankly, none of these people could care whether or not it causes a headache for the Democrats. To hold a separate primary on a different day would be logistically impossible for the Democrats, and it would likely result in much lower voter turnout as well. And in the end, it's extremely unlikely that the absence of one state's delegates, even a state as important as Florida, would skew the final result of the nominating convention next summer. So in the end, it looks like Florida state Democratic Party officials have called the National Party officials bluff. You won't let our delegates into the convention? Fine, it doesn't really matter, and all this fuss is just making our state more important in the end. But there's a larger issue at play here, and that's one of tactics. The internal party strife, being aired as it is in public, provides ample fodder for GOP candidates who will gleefully point to the fact that if the Democrats can't decide when to vote, how can we expect them to run the country? Even the Democratic Party's own blog has turned into a very public and bitter back and forth over Florida. Knowing how close it was the last two times around, you might think that the Democrats would all get on the same page, at least in public, but it looks like that's not the case. Or maybe they know something we don't, and this will all work out in their favor. I guess we'll find out in 406 days. That's it for your Political Lunch Tuesday snack. Thanks for watching. Rob and I will be back here at the desk tomorrow. We'll see you then.